Good evening, everyone. My hair is a bit of a mess. Forgive me. But, this is my favorite tarot card. It's the Fool. I think many of the reasons why it's my favorite is kind of because of I guess what it kind of represents. It's a guy, kind of. It's meant to be someone. I think it was a jester originally. I'm not sure, but about just looking up at the sky and being very unaware of the the cliff that he's about to run off into. There's a dog following him as well, and I think I don't know. There's something about that which is a little powerful. Not in the sense that it's kind of like sort of being a person without a care in the world, being able to do the things that you want to do, but you know, carelessly, without a care in the world, is kind of a blessing. You know, I have the blessing a little bit of being a little, what should I say, ignorant of world events. I'm very ignorant. Not in that I go out of my way to not learn of anything about it, but more so that it just comes to me and I don't like actively seek it, I guess. It's more like I hear news when it comes and when it's faced when I talk about it. And yeah, and in a way that relieves me of the worry of other people. I'm fairly empathetic and sympathetic. Um, there's something very. I'm able to sort of like feel a lot of things for people, you know, and I'm someone that very much, I don't know, I can't live solely for myself. Um, I think it gets a little unhealthy sometimes, but I think what it is there's a healthy amount of it. Obviously, I'm not doing a healthy amount, but I think it's important to think about your friends and your community. And, like, of course, putting yourself first is a way of doing that for your friends and for your community. But that's what I'm saying is that part of it is the inclusion of your friends, your family, your community, and everyone involved in it, right? Everyone, the people that you care for, right? And in my case, I care about everyone, right? But obviously, I can't cater for everyone. I can't do that. I can be empathetic and considerate, but that's about as much as I can do, really. And obviously, if I'm able to, and whenever I'm able to, I can go the extra mile. And maybe that's why people say that I'm nice a lot, is probably because of that. And That's probably also why people think I should take better care of myself and not focus too much on others, which I think it's true. Yeah, I definitely think it's true. But how does this relate to the Fool? Well, in some sense, I feel like I worry too much. And I don't play the Fool a lot. I'm playing this guy, the anti-Fool. So, a good friend of mine told me this from I met in Vancouver. When you get tarot cards upside down, it's the reverse meaning, right? So, the devil upside down can be a reverse thing, or the lovers upside down could be a reverse thing. And I thought that was really cool. It means there's a inherently built into every single deck of tarot cards lies a duality, almost a Taoist kind of ideology behind, like order and chaos and positive and negative and so on and so forth. And it's so cool that there's like a duality to it. And it's kind of like my two favorite colors, black and white, and if it's not black or white, I choose red. But yeah, I feel like I'm this guy right now, not this. And I think the Fool is great. I think anyone blessed to be a fool is blessed to be a fool. What is the anti-fool? Always looking at the road ahead and always being careful and cautious and so on and so forth. And it's good to be careful. It's good to look ahead. It's good to plan ahead. All of that is good. All of that is great. But all of that in excess is it's missed the mark. It's not quite there, right? And so when you're kind of just there, much like I am, kind of walking through life, planning every step and worrying about every little thing, the negatives to that is that you're so stuck on the method that you forget to actually do. Think of it like if you're cooking, let's say you're following a recipe. I know many people, I now know many people, and a surprising amount of them are artists, that don't measure out their ingredients, and they just roughly put what they think is the correct amount. And that's the Fool, right? I'm not like that. I very much come from a bit of a background of science, I would say. I measure things. I make sure that things are, if it's 100 grams, it's 100. Not 101, not 99. If it's 1,000 milliliters, I'll put that much. If it's 15 minutes, it's 15 minutes out. It's not a little extra, not a little less. But the downside of that, again, is maybe I don't make the recipe to my liking and more just to follow the recipe, right? It becomes empty. The recipe doesn't become... It becomes something to just follow and not something you make because you want to have it. Think of it like let's say you're toasting bread, and the instructions say you should toast it for 4 minutes. But I like it slightly more crunchy than that, more roasted. I would still do the 4 minutes. And I know a lot of people that would just, put it through the toaster until it's done. I think there's power in being the fool. I think it's, liberating in a sense. It's the idea that I always preach, but I never follow through with. Except in certain circumstances, especially recently, with like being cringe. I am nowadays, with the exception of very specific instances like business occasions and so on and so forth, I don't overly, I don't know, I can be a little obnoxious at times. Like, just if there's a song that I know the lyrics to, I'm gonna sing all the way through out loud and stuff. That's recently. But I preach that a lot. I always tell people, don't be scared of being cringe. That's freedom is at the end of that. Yeah. You shouldn't worry about perception per se, unless it's clearly something that isn't great. And the great thing about being a fool is that, well, being the fool is that you are easily prone to making mistakes. And that's not a bad thing. It's quite the contrary. Because if you make mistakes, you can learn from them, right? So if you don't make any mistakes, you never learn from them. Or in my case, the absence of mistakes allowed me to avoid them, but I don't get to understand it fully, right? And so if you're the fool, you run into lots of problems. One of my really good friends, he commented on the video I made yesterday. Well, I guess it's the day before yesterday now. It's 1 a.m. Yeah, he commented a lot, and he said he spat a lot of wisdom, and I really, really appreciate him. I thank him a lot, and I haven't messaged him yet. I'm a bit of a horrible friend in that regard, but I really appreciated his message. But that friend of mine, I don't know if he's comfortable with me mentioning his name, so I won't. But he used to be bullied, man, from everyone, low key me included, high key me included. Not that I would bully him on purpose, but it was kind of like I would be like, hey, what the hell is wrong with you? Let me help you get through that kind of thing. Not so much like point and laugh, like many people would do. He used to be a fool. But also, no one really told him, how to be better in a sense. But he learned. He learned a lot. Every step of the way he'd make a mistake, and then he knows not to repeat it. And I'm sure in his brain he's got lots and lots and lots of regrets, lots and lots and lots of things he wishes he could have done differently. But if you were to ask me, all of those regrets, all of those things that he wishes he'd done differently, are what's made him become him today. And he's amazing. He's great. He's fantastic. He's fun. He's wise. You know, he's learned a lot. And if I were to go back and just tell myself something, it's I don't know, I'd probably hand him this card. Like my younger version. I'd hand him this card and tell him, hey, make as many mistakes as possible. Don't be afraid of that. Because at the end of the day, you'll fix it. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's one, actually, that's another huge thing as well, is that you need to make sure, I wish everyone would understand this, but I know not everyone does and not everyone can, because not everyone comes across this knowledge. And some people are still like very, I can see lots of people still feeling so much that they refuse to do this. But you have to allow people to be the fool. And it's annoying. And it's hurtful. And it's bad. And it's strange. Because being the fool, you have to be completely free to make as many mistakes as you can and want. Just not to repeat the mistakes. And that's the beauty of it. If you never repeat any of the mistakes that you made, then you're always becoming better. But being in a fool conducive environment also means that there are lots of people around making mistakes all the time, which is just the case anyway. That's just how everyone is, right? Everyone's always making mistakes all the time. But it's very important not to judge anyone and not to put that on anyone else. I don't know if I'm making sense, but basically being patient, it's very easy to see someone make a mistake and just hate them or be annoyed at them or think, God, what an insufferable bastard or bitch, right? But if you allow them the correction, if you allow them the blessing of a correction, of a criticism, and if you allow them the time to mature and to really sink in that information, to know what it truly means to not repeat mistakes, but to retain the confidence to keep making them. If you allow that to happen, it's wonderful. Because that's how the world becomes better, right? And it's a cycle. It's a cycle of, to be, as to be from Nier Automata said. It's a cycle of life and death, right? Every time a fool learns something, a fool dies. But there are always fools in this world, the more I learn, the less of a fool I become. But I still need to retain that fool energy, I guess. Yeah. 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 I don't know. I think it's really interesting. I love this card a lot. And it makes me kind of want to paint it. And the whole reason of me kind of like bringing up this whole fool thing as well. The fool. This guy. Oh. Minimum focus distance. It's because I want to be more like that. A little fearless. To the point of stupidity. You know. And to learn along the way. And in many ways, I think I was the fool for a while. I've just become scared. Become scared of making mistakes. Been scared of the work that it takes to be better. Because it's scary, man. You gotta when you put yourself out there and be cringe, you can face embarrassment. You can face hate or dislike. You have eyes on you, which is daunting if you're not used to that, right? And if you make a mistake, it could cost you. And depending on the kind of mistake, it could cost you a lot, right? Obviously, humans are extremely resilient, overcome pretty much any challenge that comes through. But you want to limit how foolish you are to a certain point, you know. You don't want to be going to jail a couple of times. You want to be just foolish enough. And I want to be just foolish enough. I've become scared recently. I've become a little lazy. I feel like a lot of the times when I'm faced with a problem, I end up not doing it because I'm scared that I won't be able to continue. Because it's more comfortable to not change. It's so, doing nothing is so strange because it's so easy to do. And it's so bad for you. Do something, right? Do something. Definitely not do something horrible, but do something. I feel like I haven't been doing that, so I feel like a lot of what I've been doing has been lots of nothing. I know that's not the case, by the way. It's just, I think I might be a bit harsh on my procrastination. Like, I'm being harsh on myself about the fact that I procrastinate a lot, which, like, the way I procrastinate is a little different. I do procrastinate, but not in the fact that, like, I'm just kind of like lazing around doing a whole bunch of nothing It's more like I'm tricking myself into believing that the thing that I'm doing is productive, even if it isn't. Even if there are no results coming through. Because these days I catch myself looking at tutorials and videos on YouTube, thinking, oh yeah, I'm learning. When in reality, I have work that's pending and needs doing. But, you know, a little at a time. Gotta work on it. Speaking of which, wow, it's almost a 30-minute video. This one's very crazy. But aside from all of those talks, I watched Wonka with Timothée Chalamet. I didn't expect it to be that good, but it was. It was really, really good. It was really, really fun. Very whimsical. My dad gave it an 8.5 out of 10. And my brother watched it for a second time because it was that good. And Mr. Chalamet, I was very impressed. Very, very impressed. He's great at singing. And it was a very fun movie. There was like some really good cinematic shots that I can remember. There was like and the pacing of the movie, you would almost feel like it was Edgar Wright who directed it. Maybe it is. Who knows? Just like occasionally here and there, it's just very rhythmic cuts to the beat, straight on. I really liked the optimism in the movie. Reminded me of like, oh, also Project Hail Mary was really amazing. I really loved that film. I'm really thinking it might be my top science fiction movie of all time. Not necessarily because the science fiction was revolutionary and amazing and interesting, but more so because the story was so captivating to me. And Dr. Ryland Grace is very much literally me. This version of Ryan Gosling has been the most literally me out of any version that I've ever seen on any media. 9.5 out of 10. Almost. Well, I can't give it a 10 out of 10 because there were a few things that they got wrong. Like the centrifuge imbalancing. That was a little funny. But I really, really, really liked it. I love how clumsy he is and how everything he touches somehow magically duct tape is covered over it. You know? It reminds me of me and the way I work. It's very scrappy. Very whatever I can find. I'm a bit of a scavenger in many respects. I'm so tired. So tired. I should go to sleep, but I got work to do. I got a music video to cut for Andia Sunday. I was working on it at work today for a little, and I got a little bit done. Pretty good. But it's not over until it's over. And I said I was gonna send it by the end of today. Well, yesterday. But better late than never. I gotta be more punctual with time. But yeah. I hope this other mic that I'm using is much better, because I remember the camera one was very shit. I'm not gonna lie. It's okay. It is what it is. But I hope you enjoyed. I don't care if no one watches this. And this, I just wanted to yap, really.